spoken for our hearing. And again, I make no apologies. God has given me no notes to preach on, but he gave me a vision and a night's dream. And my eyes are open more so than before. God is not pleased with us today. And I pray, and like I said, I cannot apologize for something that God has given me. But God is looking to us to wake up. God is looking to us to get our priorities in order. He sees what our society is doing. He sees what man is doing throughout the world. I'm not just talking about the United States. I'm talking about all humanity. We have forsaken the love. And I'm not saying the saints of God are here. I'm talking about the nation of humanity has forsaken God. Let me give you a few things and give you some things to consider. It just not too long ago, a few weeks ago, now up to this day, that we have this unusual heat wave. This fall, this winter, past winter was mighty warm, and now we are experiencing a transfiguration of weather conditions that we have not yet seen in our lifetime. Temperature rising up to 105, and I'm not talking about heat index. I don't know how often that is, but as far as what I have researched, that's not the norm. When I get in my car, it says 115. That is not the norm. When we experience weather conditions like a storm appear out of nowhere without warning, that is not the norm. This past week, our brothers and sisters, including us, have experienced power outages because of a storm that came out of nowhere, knocked all the trees down, and yet to the day, 10,000 people are still without power. There was no hurricane forecast. There was no storm coming from the west and from the north and from the south that was building up. It just appeared out of nowhere. I have read articles that thousands of fish from Delaware to Virginia are dying. In Los Angeles, 1 million fish are dead, floating in the water. In the north region of the middle of the Atlantic near Germany and Norway, dead fish. In southern Uganda has a morality law that does not allow immorality. If they're Christian, they some of Islamic, but they don't play that kind of stuff that we're doing in America and Europe. What they are doing, they're saying that Uganda has to help to promote homosexuality, that the people of Uganda should be ashamed of themselves. This is BET. That they should recognize gays, lesbian, homosexual, transgender, and bisexuals. So you mean to tell me that you will start a movement that's taking over the United States, but you're going to force it upon people? You know, this thing that we said back in the days that, hey, what you do in your bed is your business. That's no longer your business anymore, because you're making your business my business. So if you want to arrest me or persecute me, you might well persecute me. Because we have lost our way, we forgot about God. You know, back in the day, we wouldn't even consider bringing that language up. Or even the thought. But now, it's okay. In our public school, they're brainwashing our children. In our entertainment world, they're brainwashing us. And they call it civil rights. That is not what Dr. Martin Luther King died for. That's what not all these preachers and pastors that got lynched and hung for. If you keep yourself